Welcome all to Talking Bollocks. It's nice to have you all back. This edition just caught the regular listeners by surprise there, because I don't normally play the whole song, and you new listeners, you'll just have to work out what the deal is basically. But normally it's just the beginning bit of that song, and then I do my thing. But I thought I'd do the whole song because my name is Howard H. Smith. I did used to front that band that you were just listening to, Acid Rain, and today, Monday the 4th of August, which is when I'm recording this, the Apple Core archives have been released as of today. A few people have sent pictures in and stuff, and all looks really cool. So that's what I used to do. I now do stand-up, and I do this for you as often as possible, and it's great fun. So, already messed with the with the natural order of things by playing the whole song there. I'm going to switch around again and change the format, just to keep you people on your toes. And I'm going to go straight into an interview. Now, I'm going to say right now, ahead of the interview you're about to hear, that this is something that will never be repeated. This interview will probably always be my favourite ever interview, no matter who I could ever interview, because it's not so much an interview, it's more of an experience, and I think you're going to find it quite an interesting one to be listening in on. Safe to say, Franky and I have never met. That's Franky from Channel Zero. We've never met. This was the first time that we had. I knew that we had something in common that comes up quite early in the interview. That's why I mention it. And Franky and I have a conversation that we should have had 20 years ago. All will become clear, but this was the most tiring, moving, depressing, enjoyable, exhilarating, cleansing. Is that too arty? Cleansing kind of experience, which all sounds bizarre. So, and I know it does. So I'm doing a very bad job of kind of introing this. You'll probably understand why when you listen to it that I'm struggling with trying to introduce it. So everybody just enjoy yourselves. Me and Franky are on Skype. It's video Skype, so we can see each other. So if there's any references to visuals, sorry. And he does walk me around his flat at one point to show me something. But anyway, this is my favourite ever interview, and always will be. And this is me and Franky from Channel Zero having a chat. Aha. Here we go. Hello.
Hey, Howard. How you doing, man?
I'm very well. How are you?
Fine. Yeah, my status is always actually like offline, because otherwise I get like calls.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I hide a little bit.
yeah. You being the Belgian Phil Anselmo and all that. So look, thanks for doing this.
No problem.
It's look, let's get straight to it. Do you do you know the story behind me getting hold of you, really? Because we've met and we've played together.
Yeah, Andy was telling me, but I can't remember. Was it on somewhere on the tour with Body Count?
No. I'm hoping you will remember, but this is quite funny because anybody who listens to my podcast, I seem to do interviews with people who I've met before, and they always go, "No, I'm sorry, I don't remember you." I did one with Tommy Victor from Prong. And he was like, "No, I don't remember." And then we finished the interview, and then offline he was like, "Do you know what? I do remember you now." Oh, jeez. Okay, right.
When I can't bring it back.
It was.
I probably will know because my hard disk works really well, but sometimes I'm like, at this moment I can't place it.
Absolutely no problem, Frank. The thing is, we played on a bill with Nuclear Assault in Ghent. It was when you had your demo out. I don't think you were signed yet.
That was with Napalm Death.
No, it was Nuclear Assault. I sang in Acid Rain. It was Nuclear Assault.
Yeah, Acid Rain. I remember the name.
Right.
Ooh,
Okay.
But it's really like 1990.
Oh, yeah. We're talking, I think, actually 1989.
Well, we exist from March 1990, so
Oh, right.
I know we did a couple of shows like on the very first moment, and was it not in the Alcatraz Cafe?
No, I don't think it was. It was in like some big hut, and it put it this way, it was before your demo. It was before, like, way before your demo. I don't know if you like. It was. Or is
it the Vooruit? The Vooruit?
Yeah.
Called the Vooruit. It was like a hall with one balcony kind of type.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was Alcatraz concert probably organizing, because Alcatraz was actually. Philip from Alcatraz Cafe was our first guy who was like taking care of us a little bit, and that's the reason why we were on these bills.
Right.
So it had to be, but I'm sure it's in the Vooruit. It's Nuclear Assault, Acid Rain.
Yeah.
I think there was another band still. No.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think 4 bands were there. But we're talking about 24 years ago.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm fucking old.
I pretend not to be.
Yeah, don't we all?
But okay.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again. Oh, it's Skype just
the line broke a little bit. What did you say?
Well, look, this is kind of a really this could be quite interesting, right? I got a letter here.
Yeah.
Now, given that you don't remember my band, there's a chance that you won't remember this guy either. But do you remember a guy? In English, it would be Tony Hermans.
Tony Hermans.
Yeah, or it would be in Belgian. I think it'd be Toon, Toon.
Whoa! You got to be kidding me. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious, man.
That's I get the point. Yeah, he was a real good friend of mine.
He was a good friend of mine as well. And look, if it's okay with you, I just I have a letter here
from him.
Yes, that I want to read to you. And it says it's the 18th of December 1990, and it says, "Yo H, I think this will be the last letter you'll be getting from me. At the moment you'll have this, I will be dead. This is no joke, but merely unfortunately, I didn't enjoy living anymore. Things didn't go my way anymore. Things I wanted to happen didn't happen. Things I didn't want to happen were happening all the time. Well, to put it short and brief, there was no more fun in life. I'm sorry, but I can't live like that. I'm writing this note to the people I like most, so I thought I'd let you know. After all, we've been writing for 2 years now. I hope you and Acid Rain all the best for the future. Did you like Channel Zero demo? You should really contact Franky one day. Tell him you know me. Maybe you can do business together."
Oh my God, this is almost like surreal.
It is, isn't it?
He was a really good friend of mine, and I got the same letter. Almost like, I think 20, 25 people got a letter like that. I didn't know he committed suicide.
Yeah.
Wow, this is intense. I have the same letter here somewhere in a box upstairs.
Yeah, I know.
Brought this to me too, because 2 days before I still saw him. I saw him regularly, really regularly. He was like, he knew about Channel Zero in the early moments, really like early moments, like he talks about the demo. And then happened what happened, and that was like, that was a real heavy hit there. Even the song "Help," maybe you know the song "Help" of Channel Zero.
Yeah.
That turned into Belgium. In Belgium, it turned into a radio hit. That's the reason why we were so kind of big in Belgium.
Yeah.
Was about him.
Wow.
That lyric, "Help," is about the way how I a little bit felt like powerless in that whole situation, because what happened there was for me like almost like when I still remember when a friend of him, his mom called me to tell like don't commit suicide. I was like, first of all, I thought she was making a joke. I was like, look, I don't believe it. It's impossible. I saw him 2 days ago, and all of a sudden, 1 week later, we were on his funeral. I met his whole family. His sister, by the way, is also on my Facebook still.
Wow.
I made her a video message like 2 weeks ago. Her new boyfriend asked me to do so. So, yeah, wow, that's one hell of an introduction.
Yeah, I know. And look, I didn't want to I didn't want in any way kind of like feel like you being hijacked here or
No. I mean, I don't worry. But it's actually really nice of you to bring this up, because we were just good. I mean, I had a lot of good friends, but he was like the guy that we were into music, like into music all the time. I mean, new bands. I know he was like going for. He had also a German band. I don't remember the name anymore. Where he was really crazy about also. And if I'm not wrong, I even remember the Acid Rain. We were buying albums.
Yeah.
On import base in a store in Ghent, because he actually committed suicide in his student house kind of student room in Ghent.
Right.
I was actually having my first job there, so we were there all the time, and this is really intense. But Toon Hermans, yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, his name is also a name in Belgium and in Holland. That name is known as one of the most famous stand-up comedians ever. So whenever somebody talks about Toon Hermans in Flanders side, the north side of Belgium and Holland, everybody's referring to like the comic.
Yeah.
He had the same name also. So I mean that's really. But I had the same letter as you in Flemish. Here it's still in a box. That was really crazy. What happened back then?
Well, that's
really crazy.
Well, what's really crazy is I now do stand-up comedy as well. So it's all it's all coming full. Yeah, I've been doing stand-up comedy for the last 15 years.
Amazing.
So I'm I still do a little bit of music here and there. I mean, I do my podcast, which is just started this year. But yeah, I've also got the I have a I don't know if you can see that there. This is a I think this is a program from the funeral, which obviously is all in Flemish, which was the day after Christmas Day, December the 26th, 1990. And I got the letter and the program was sent to me like this. And the letter was wrapped up inside, so it was actually sent after the funeral.
Well, as far as I know, I learned to. The thing is, I didn't know his parents and his sister before.
Yeah.
All that. And he literally wrote in that letter to me like, I think it would be nice if you learn to know my parents. So, which I did, and they actually explicitly wanted me to go after the funeral with them to the family dinner, but that was really complicated for me because I didn't know anybody of his family at all.
Yeah.
So I did that because I thought it was just like, he asked for it, and the thing is also that there they told me that he already planned this 4 months ahead. So like 4 months ahead, he started writing a whole book. I think he wrote he bought a big book, empty book, and he wrote. I never read it. Not that I want to read it, but I mean, he wrote 4 months up front. He said, "I'm going to commit suicide that day."
Wow.
and that's exactly what he did. So
Right.
it was really heavy for me the next week when I was on that family. That's what they call, like they have a little dinner after the closest family. So I was all of a sudden, you had a big family.
Right.
So all of a sudden I was like into that big family, which somewhere I didn't mind but that was really intense because I still remember that one of his family relatives, he openly asked me, like, are you sure you didn't write any lyrics that influenced Stone to commit suicide?
Oh, my God.
So I was, like, standing in front of, like, 50 people. I didn't already know how to handle that because I was already, like, completely overwhelmed in the negative way of the whole what happened. And so I had to defend myself. I mean, I was like, I don't think my lyrics had anything to do with what, you know. And then his father came in and he said, no, it's impossible because he wrote us the whole book and he started 4 months ahead. He picked the date instantly.
Yeah.
Because the day he actually commits suicide is the last day of the student. It's called the last Thursday before going into the 2 weeks of school vacation.
Right, yeah.
And it's called, believe it or not, in Ghent, it's called Crystal Night.
Right.
Referring to the night where the Germans broke all the windows of the Jews.
Ah, right.
Because in the whole city is a kind of block. It's a student city, and there's so many glasses break that night that it traditionally throughout the years it's got called in the mouths of people like Crystal Night.
Yeah.
So he picked that 4 months ahead, and honestly, I don't know. I still can't place it. I just don't know why. I could not even. I had like so many because his ex-girlfriend I know really well, and we talked about it, and I just saw her like 2 days ago on a show because we played in Zottegem, where that's a little bit the region where they were from.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, also originally born. So yeah, man, that's still one strange twist of fate or time, which is really almost like incredible that you bring it up here.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't even, I wasn't looking to interview. No offense, but I wasn't kind of looking to interview you. But I hooked up with Andy for some interviews, and I looked down the list, and it just said Franky Channel 0, and I just thought, wow. I mean, this letter is. This letter, I take it out and I read it at least once a year. Back in 1990, of course, it was. This letter just arrived, and there's no, and I knew Tony, and that's it. So I couldn't write to anybody, I couldn't ring anyone, I didn't know anyone.
Internet was not at all what it is now.
Yeah, look at us talking here now. I
can imagine for you that must have been like a really awkward letter to get because you can't reply.
Yeah.
Or how do you want to reply? I mean, back in the days, it's I mean, even for us somewhere, we could talk about it because we knew on the funeral, and I knew a lot of people around him and us that were like, we could talk about it, but it must have been like really kind of hard to get that letter because you can't. What do you have to say on that? I mean, it's like so endless.
Yeah, I mean, I think the phrase you're looking for is head fuck.
Yeah. Completely. I mean, how do you want to handle that? There is no way to place it.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, man. No. I hope you have a little kind of, I don't know, place or relief on the fact that we can talk about it. I mean, if I would have known this like before, we could have easily talked about this earlier.
Yeah, I know. Frankie, the way this is all worked out is obviously This is the way it was worked out. I mean, I saw Channel Zero on the email from Andy, and I said, look, it has to be an original member. And Andy said, how's Franky? And I was just looking at the letter going, yeah, this is just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. I can imagine. I really can imagine. It's almost unbelievable also. I mean, as a start off for an interview, I have to be honest, I'm not saying that I'm still emotional on that, but it's still the crazy thing with the whole thing is that it's still as unbelievable as it was now 25 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, this is the first time in 25 years that I've been able to talk to anybody about receiving this letter who actually knew him. So there's a few people I've spoken to in my life who I've shown the letter, and a friend of mine actually lived in Belgium for 5 or 6 years, and when he came over, I showed him the whole program and everything, and was like, look, can you make sense of it for me? And this is, that's like 20 years later. It's kind of something that look, talking to you about it now, it's obviously it's something that never goes away because of the way it happened. And
yeah, he prepared this so well, and he literally the way how he prepared it technically speaking, was totally there was no way he could fail. Right. Okay. He prepared it so good. He knew exactly what he had to do, how he did it, because he was living in a very low ceiling in his typical student house. The like you have thousands of them in Ghent. Yeah. And how he managed to do this with such a precise dedication, and there was no way he could fail, because he even his ex-girlfriend at that time and his best friend, he literally made an appointment with them to find him. Wow. So these two girls opened his door, and of course that's the last thing you would have expected. So that was really, really heavy. I mean, I still remember that whole week of unbelief and everything was like a follow up. It went even so crazy. I think I owe you the whole story. Maybe not for the interview, but yeah, sure. It went so absolutely crazy that he was like a diehard fan of the demo, Channel Zero. He also was really not involved, but he was so close to me that he felt the whole building up of the whole thing. Yeah. And he did his last job. Typical students working for having a little extra money in the year time. Yeah. He went working, and he kind of did a heavy job. He won quite some money, and he completely saved that. Yeah. Or not. And when I was after the funeral at his parents' house, they said, "Look, Tone still left you something," and I was like, well, "I don't know." And he literally, his last will was to give me all that money to buy an effects processor for my voice. Oh yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I remember. He was so I was completely I think it's one of the only moments in my life where I was literally nailed to the ground, because I was like, no, you can't ask me to take that. Yeah. I think the first reaction for me was I don't want it. I'm like, come on, how do you want me to accept that? And they were literally they were so you have to. It's in his last will. It's written in that book. And I was I was crying. I couldn't place it. Literally, I couldn't place it. And exactly the thing what they gave me, I completely spent it on amps, speakers, and that FX processor, a Boss SE50. I'll never forget that of my whole fucking life. Yeah. If an FX processor can have an emotional connection, then yeah. Well, no, it was so completely like absurd for me. Like, I mean, I never thought that talking about an effect, or I was researching things and looking for whatever in vocal performance ways to improve or to look, typical musician stuff. I don't have to explain you. I mean,
yeah. I wish I could have found an effect that would have made my voice any better.
That was just the thing that I had in mind. I mean, of so many things that I had in mind of, like, I need a better PA system. Back in the days, we made our own PA systems. We bought amps, fucked up speakers, learned out of it, the whole typical.
Yeah.
Now you go into a store and I'm a singer, you need this mic.
Yeah.
Take that system. If you spend a little money, you're set up.
Yeah.
Back in the days, there was no such thing as, okay, you had PAs, but I mean, I didn't have the ways to like buy the whole thing, so it was. I still remember getting that money, and I was like, almost like, I have to get to that store now because, that was almost like so surreal. I could hardly believe it. And then the crazy thing on that whole thing, is that the song I made. 4 or 5 years later, Help, literally became like, it's, believe it or not, they still play it almost like once or 2-3 times a week in Belgium on national radio.
Really? Wow.
It's incredible. I can't explain it. I even have, I maybe have to show you. I'll complete the whole story now.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Cool.
I'm going to show you a gift I got also on the funeral of Toon from his parents, and it's since ever that's the thing that hangs in front of my. When I have a studio, I always have, wherever I live, I always have like my place where I have my speakers and whatever. And believe it or not, I'm gonna show you. That's the gift I got from his parents, and it's. I don't know why it already hangs like 24 years in front of my face.
Oh, wow, awesome.
That's, I mean, it's almost like, I can't imagine having that not in front of my face when I'm making music.
Yeah.
And that's this Egyptian.
Oh, right, okay, no, I get, right, okay, it's like a sort of shroud.
And I always say it's like Toon watching me.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. So everybody's like, what's with that thing? It always hangs there. And I'm like, I don't explain it to everybody.
Yeah.
But the thing is with this, it's hard to explain. I can't imagine having this thing because this is my spot up there where I have my studio.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
And it's always in front of me. Always. So yeah, man.
That's
talking about intense stories.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's This has got to be one of the stranger interviews that I've ever done.
Oh well, since you got that letter, I'm always straightforward with everybody. So, but it's no problem, man. Don't worry. It's I hope you can give it a little bit more place through this talk.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what follows on from this is when are we going to see you guys in the UK?
Well, I have to be honest. The story with Phil, who passed away last. Now almost a year ago.
Yeah, it's just coming up. It's just coming up to a year, isn't it? Next month.
So we were like going to record the album with Phil. Like 2 days later, the whole band got like shook up, like so crazy.
Yeah.
One of Mikey's best friends, Roy, got to the point where he said, "Look, if you still want to do the album, even if it's just as a dedication, I'm ready to help you guys out." So, the whole thing for me was also that I didn't want to get into a new discussion who was going to be the new drummer or this, or, it was all kind of... The thing is, we had two situations. since the album recording was like just 2 days later for 1 month, we had to cancel everything. But the whole problem was the studios were booked. Logan Mader was going to fly over to Belgium to record the whole process, because the first album in 2011 we actually recorded it half here and half in the States. But now we were going to do the whole process here. Because where we rehearsed is actually a studio, so Logan was like, I can handle that if I have the right equipment. So that was the plan. So the moment Phil passed away, we called Logan. He was literally almost like putting his bag on the plane.
Yeah.
So the whole thing got cancelled. We didn't really know where our heads were at that moment. And then later on, the only thing that we had is that if we would have continued at a certain moment, like a month and a half later, Logan said, look, I'm booked until now, or a little bit like, so his planning was full. So at a certain moment, there was one band or one of his projects fell off or got on a hold situation.
Yeah.
And he said, if there is a moment, if you want to still do this, with him, the only problem was also we already advanced half of the price that we were going to pay him. You know, we were in so much like different levels of complexity. Like, the label was going crazy. Of course, they didn't. I mean, that was so. When Phil passed away the first day, it maybe sounds crazy, but we literally had like more than 150,000 views on our Facebook page.
Jesus Christ!
Only for Belgium. So.
Yeah.
Just to explain you how the whole thing like went like global. It was in every newspaper. There was direct speculation. Is it an overdose? Again, a new rock and roll victim. And the only thing what happened was that he had his artery collapsed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Monday, it happened the Saturday. The Monday we had to do kind of press conference here. There was 25 cameras on our face.
Oh my God!
We had nothing to announce.
No, because you wouldn't know what was happening, would you?
Yeah, but the thing was, there was nothing spectacular somewhere.
Yeah, right, okay.
It was not. He didn't put a needle in his. I mean, Phil was. I mean, we were not angels, but you know.
Yeah.
But his parents were like, "Oh, what's happening?" So we had a whole like thing going on, and the thing is, I mean, to get back to your question, when we're going to play in UK, I mean, let's say a couple of months ago, we were already happy getting to the point where we could just make the album, which was actually fully done. We literally had all the demos ready because on Monday, Phil was going to start tracking drums. So we decided to do the album in memory for Phil, kind of, in first instance.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, okay, let's make that album and see where we are then. And we got such a really good response to the whole thing where the thing was, yeah, you got to do it live, maybe not. Yeah, what are we going to do? It's all like, sometimes it's so hard because nowadays in rock and roll times, you have to decide everything 6 months up front.
Yeah.
If you don't book something for April in August or August in October the year before, it doesn't happen. So there was so much like time limits and going on. So and then the whole thing, you know, when the album was there, the mix took a little bit longer than expected. So, but in the end, the album is there, and then he's there, and we know it's going to come out in Belgium and in Holland, which is the territory of our label, Belgian label.
Yeah.
It's actually the old Roadrunner label.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's that bit of that Roadrunner label that got the Belgian partner of Kees Wessels.
Yeah.
You probably know the name.
Yeah.
Who sold Roadrunner International, bought the whole thing of Roadrunner. He didn't keep the name, but he bought the whole thing in for Belgium and Holland.
Right.
On his own risk, which is almost like crazy. So we had a first plan, like, okay, the album comes out in Belgium. Funny as it seems, we had, with Feed 'em of a Brick, we had a gold album in Belgium in album sales, which is still crazy nowadays, so we have to be honest. And the thing is, we'd never expected that. I mean, you always hope, but you know, I don't have to explain you what is hope in music. It's really large. It's really narrow, and at the same time, really large in perspective. So the funny part is, all of a sudden, a Dutch guy introduces us at the new Metal Blade European initiative.
Yeah.
They're having a German office now since, I don't know, 6 months.
Yeah.
And nobody was interested. We sent it to Nuclear Blast, to the whole. We all got like, yeah, you know, we don't know. It's not really our thing. And they were the only one who said, wow, we love this shit. We want to do this. And literally, I'm not joking, we were almost like falling with our chairs with the feet in the air. Like, and we were like, wow, well, that's good news. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it really happened. So now, 3 months ago, all of a sudden, Metal Blade came in the picture, and they literally said, like, first off, okay, we want to do this worldwide. And we were like, well, we're not gonna, since we don't really have, we're not like that, but I mean, we're not gonna do like real heavy on this. Wait, discuss the options.
Yeah.
So like, hey man, you know, here's the album. So the label, our label, made an agreement with them, and I have to be honest, we get really, really good reviews, which is of course extremely nice. But to explain you a little bit, like how I feel about it, is that without the Metal Blade impact, I'm not sure if we would have ever played in UK again. And now I dare to say that the album is just out for a month, small month, so the reviews are really good. I do quite some interviews with UK, France, Germany, Holland, Sweden, Italy. So there is a certain interest. So honestly, we hope to get there after the summer, beginning of next year.
It'd be great, man. It'd be awesome, man. I'd love to come and see you guys. I'd love to, I'd love to meet you and sit down in the flesh and have a beer, and talk a little bit more about Tony. And you know what? Everything is clicking into place in my brain. When you played with Nuclear Assault, you were in '69.
No, I was never in '69.
Was it? So you weren't in '69?
No, I was in Cyclone.
Ah, right, okay.
We have these two camps, the Phil, Tino, and the first guitar player, believe it or not, who also died of a blood clot.
Gee, everyone is dying in this interview, Franky.
Oh, people already told us, like, what's wrong with you guys? I'm like, I don't know,
I know you had Dimebag doing the second album, and it's just.
Oh yeah, we had Vinny mixing. So it's you know, there's so many really sometimes awkward connections with the whole thing. Like Mikey is a real good friend of Vinnie Paul.
Yeah.
In '92, I flew over to Nashville to mix, but Mikey was an extremely good friend of Dimebag. They literally hang out like months and months on the same tour buses because they were playing in the same bands. So you know, it's so crazy sometimes, destiny and what happens, because like in 1990 I was in LA just to party because I was having a job in PA. I was a sales and marketing in PA for Mayer Sound, an American company.
Yeah.
And I was over there, and this, believe it or not, it's again one of these. That's the story of my life, a little bit. I always end up in stuff that I'm like, why is this happening? You know, or can somebody give me some more, whatever, explanation? So Mikey was like, hey man, come over to LA. I was in San Francisco for 3 days training. I fly over to LA with an inland flight, costs really nothing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the Ella Fella Ukel in Iceland explodes.
Oh, right, yeah. So you were stuck.
So what happens is that, I was stuck more than a month in LA. of course, there's worse places to get stuck.
Yeah. Poor you.
That was really a bummer.
Yeah, right.
The thing is, you can't. I mean, I still remember the lady of United calling me, like, she was like, I have 2 options for you in 3 weeks and a half, but we were already 1 week further before I got to reach somebody.
Yeah.
Or in 1 month and a half. So I was like, please give me that seat in 3 weeks and a half, because I didn't have enough money. So
yeah,
our manager sent over some money on my bank account so I could pay some hotels to stay and eat, because I didn't expect to stay for more than a month in LA. And at that time, we actually wrote Feed with a Brick, the first of the new album.
Right.
Because I was stuck there. So Marlon was, our manager said, look, you're there anyway. So
yeah,
do something, I mean, with your time. I mean, we couldn't party for 1 month. I mean, we were not like, Aerosmith or whatever.
yeah.
Partying. We were like partying for 3 days and now we were broke, So that's how we wrote that first album. And then I flew back because I actually didn't want to do a new band, Channel Zero. But that new album, it worked so well with Mikey. The click was there. Yeah, 1 year later I stopped my job, and so we're back in rock and roll land without even wanting it. Or, I mean, it's sometimes it has to roll with, you have to go with the fog or the and then the thing that happens with Metal Blade, I'm not saying that everything is on wheels, but it's crazy to do 25 years of music to wanting to reach something and reaching something, but not reaching like that world thing going on. And now all of a sudden we get that deal. So I don't know. I'm like, okay, I learned to say never.
Yeah. Well, it's
because
just,
you actually don't know.
Yeah, well, there's no one could actually manage you into the situation that you've ended up. It's just happened, hasn't it?
I don't know. I've learned to live with destiny. I mean, I have to be honest, my life has always been in so many ways, because I have two, 3 journalists in Belgium who know my story a little bit deeper than just the music side, and they're literally telling me, like, friend, you have to write this down, because if you write down what you've lived already, people are literally not going to believe you. That was so crazy that it's hard to place,
That was a great line when you said you've learned to live with destiny. That's a really cool line, and that kind of sums it up.
I had to. I literally, when I was 30, 35, I had a moment where I had a hard time accepting all the, and also the things where I choose for. I mean, I'm not saying that it's all destiny. It's all kind of destiny, but at the same time, it's also you trying to do your thing. And of course, you hit the wall. Of course, you learn. Of course, you go from wall to wall. So all these things have. It's. I had a moment in my life where I was really getting frustrated on the fact that I was like, if it would be nice if I could choose for once.
Have some kind of element of control.
I was going bananas but I really learned to, like, okay, it's literally no use. I mean, the whole thing with the LFL Yuckel is a nice example of. I already know now the moment where I feel like, it feels really comfortable, really, in this situation. I'm kind of like a little bit settled, or, and there's all of a sudden that baseball bat is like, and I'm on the other side of the terrain, and then I'm asking myself, like, why I'm here now?
Yeah.
So, it's, and Tone was another one of these, like, almost like crazy moments. Hard to get. It's almost like incredible that you bring that up here.
Oh yeah, not in
a negative way. I mean,
no, I know. I mean, look, it's slightly selfish from my point of view, because
no.
I just wanted to talk to, and the irony, the irony, the symmetry, the fate of him mentioning you by name in the letter that he wrote to me.
Well,
all these years ago is just I couldn't not like call you up and say, man, we've got something in common.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like unbelievable. I mean, yeah. So you still play in Acid Rain now, or you stopped, or
well,
you?
we quit in '91, and there's a retrospective box set coming out next month in August of everything. There's been attempts to try and get back to play together and play shows, but I mean I've been doing stand up for 15 years. So stand up is what I do. Musically, I've done some guest appearances recently and stuff like that, and it's definitely kind of whetted my appetite to get back into things. But whether anything comes of that or not, I don't know. But I mean, you know what it's like once you've been in this scene, it never leaves you. And the podcast is a way of staying in touch with everybody, really.
Well, the thing is, the question I want to ask you, if I'm not wrong, you didn't have long hair back in the days too.
No, I did. I had long hair, just like everybody else. Yeah.
Because the thing is, when I see your face, and I'm really, really good in remembering faces, I can actually place you.
Right.
I'm extremely bad in names. I'm not joking.
Me too.
It's sometimes so embarrassing. When I was doing the sales and marketing job, that was like one of my worst assets ever.
Yeah.
Like, forgetting names, I was like, fuck, I already sold that guy at 100,000. It was Gerald. No. Shit. But believe me or not, I meet people sometimes throughout time, and actually, face-wise, you're not. I mean, I can place it.
Right. Okay. Cool, man. Cool. Well, This has been definitely the strangest interview I've ever done. I think, I think you'd agree.
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, don't worry. I mean,
No.
I'm happy that you can talk a little bit about it, so you have some information. That, I mean, come on, it's 24 years.
Yeah.
It's 24 years of
not knowing anything, to be honest with you.
Not knowing anything about it. I mean, it's almost like unbelievable.
I know. Well, look, Franky, I'm gonna have to wind this up now. But what I want to do is, I've got your email address. I'll send you an email. Let's connect over Facebook and everything. And I don't want to lose contact with you.
No problem.
Cool. All right, man.
Wait. It's the best thing is you send me your Facebook or account because you won't get on it. I have it's completely full and 4,000 waiting and 2,000 Belgian thing, and it's hard to get on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Send me your account name or how you are on it, and I'll send you a request in 2 minutes.
No problem, man. No problem. I'll send you an email. Look,
I hope you have enough information for the interview, or because we completely,
well, look, if you don't mind, I'm going to use the whole thing, everything that we've just spoken about. I mean, it's important. I think this kind of thing. You never know. Somebody might be listening to us talking about this, and they may be thinking of doing something themselves, and they,
no problem. Totally.
So, but look, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to get an email across to you, and I look forward to buying you a beer in London sometime.
You're London based?
Yeah.
Great. Well, we hope to get there. I think it's, as far as I know, more beginning of next year than maybe after the summer.
Yeah.
It depends. We're working on some things, but it's really, I mean, we don't want to just go out there and we want to make sure that when it's done, it's good. So
of course, I'm sure it will be, man. I'm sure it will be.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's great to talk to you, and take care. Have a good evening, and I'll talk to you again soon, man.
Hey, bye.
Take care, man. Bye. Bye. So, wow, right? You weren't expecting that. Yeah, so a very interesting experience chatting to Frankie there. I don't think I'll ever experience anything like that in my life again. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm aware it's, for some people that's maybe a little bit uncomfortable listening for a while there, or maybe it was just fascinating. I don't know. It's hard to judge because I'm too close to it. But to be honest, it was just when I saw his name on a list of people who were available for interviews, and I saw it, and I just thought of that letter, and it had never occurred to me until that moment to ever get in touch with him. But I just remembered that he was mentioned in it, and I just thought, right, let's just go for it. And really glad I did. We've hooked up on Facebook. By the way, for those of you who aren't aware, Channel Zero are basically like Belgian Metallica, and I mean, yes, they are that fucking big. They're huge. They're massive out there. Excuse me. And yeah, it was like just trying to. He said like that's why he was saying you'll struggle to find me on Facebook, but yeah, he found me, and we traded a couple of messages, and it was obvious. I think for the rest of the night we both felt a little bit odd. Definitely, I actually went on and did an interview for Acid Rain straight after that, which was kind of bizarre. I ended up talking about the podcast mostly. But anyway, look, the reason I wanted to put that up the front is because it's quite difficult to intro that. It's just kind of it just seemed like the best way of putting in there, and I didn't think the usual sort of me bouncing along, going hey this, hey that, basically being the usual fuck nugget that I am, and then going into something like that, it just seemed a bit wrong. So I thought it'd be easier to bring it up after the relatively downbeat start. But anyway, look, it's great to be back. Been away for nearly a month from you loyal bollockers, and you just keep increasing. It's awesome. You're just you're mutating at a virulent rate. It's if you were a virus, you'd be. I mean, you're not up to sort of bird flu or swine flu standards yet, but you are. You're pretty nasty. If you go airborne, woohoo! Now that'll be yeah, basically that would just be taking over the planet. But yeah, so keep it going, please. Just keep searching on people's podcast apps when they're out of the room, on their phone or on their laptop or on their tablet. If they've got an iPad, just smash it. Don't fucking bother with that. Yeah, just search for Talking Bollocks in the podcast app. Subscribe to it. Either tell them or don't. I don't care. They all count. But thank you very much to a guy called Flyleaf on iTunes for sending us writing us a very nice review. Excuse me. And why do I say us? Am I schizophrenic? No. I say us because I mean me and everybody at the allabouttherock.co.uk website, because allabouttherock.co.uk is basically Talking Bollocks is the All About the Rock podcast. That is what it is. It's thanks to those good people that I get some of these interviews, and that it's even known. So thank you, you wonderful people. Everybody get down to allabouttherock.co.uk and check it out. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. It started really well because two of my favourite motherfuckers on the face of the Twitterverse gave Talking Bollocks a shout out, and that is Chuck and Dickless. Sorry, Godless. Chuck and Dickless. Oh, there it is again. Sorry, Chuck and Godless at Metal Sucks gave the show a shout out, and that is like woohoo! That's the Metallica of podcasts right there. And I mean that as a compliment. So those of you out there who I know like to regularly trash Metallica, no, not that Metallica. I'm talking like up to for some of you up to And Justice for All, and for some of you including the Black Album, that era Metallica. Yeah. Apart from you dickheads who think they sold out after Kill 'Em All. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Hope you're happy in your bedroom. So anyway, yeah. So that was really appreciated that. I mean, it's done fuck all for us. We haven't had a flood of tweets or a huge, shitload of subscribers, but you know, it's the podcast verse. We have to stick together. And quite seriously, yeah, check Metal Sucks out. If you want to listen to something that's professionally done by professionals, as opposed to a fucking idiot in his front room, you'll hear the difference. They haven't got the old, they haven't got the older 50 quid podcast mic, and they've got some great guests, and funnily enough, in that very same episode, how smooth is this? Watch this for a segue. The track they played, there was a track they played which was by Misery Index from their new album, and here we go. Oh, it's almost like I knew what I was going to do then. Yes, that's right. That's the Misery Index CD, The Killing Gods. Because downloaded it, heard it, liked it, got the CD, fucking love it. On the Metal Sucks podcast, they played. What was it called? I'm looking at the back of it now. Just fucking hell. You know, when they're written in fucking old English handwriting, so you can't fucking read them even when it's right up to your face. Jesus, where is it? This is fucking annoying me now. Not the harrowing. This is just really the worst part of any podcast I've ever done, isn't it? Really, gallows humour. Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. That was a combination of I was just staring at the box, trying to tilt it because I haven't got the lights on, and we're just losing the lights, so it's just kind of going into dusk or magic hour, as it's called in some film I used to watch. Rain of Fire, that was it. Yeah, classic. Anyway, tangent fans, you'll be spotting that was a massive one. So Misery Index, the Killing Gods, fucking awesome. Just fucking awesome. By the way, sorry about that last kind of 2 minutes section there of just babbling and dribbling and sounded like I'd had a stroke or something. I'm fucking really sorry. Can we just pretend that like that never happened? What happened? Thank you very much. That's very good of you. So yeah, Misery Index, awesome. Death metal that I like. There's not a lot of that. I've got to be honest. I was a label mate of Chuck Skulldiner as well. So let's not forget that. For 2 albums, and Leprosy and Spiritual Healing, and both of which I thought were fucking awesome at the time and got them, but. Then death metal, I always just remember thinking, really? No. I mean, there's a really, really good band like Death, and then there's everyone else. And it's like, somebody played me Obituary Slowly We Rot, first album when that came out. Was that the first album? Well, anyway, he played one. And I was just like, well, yeah, it's like Death, but really badly produced and not as good. Why would I listen to that? Got Death. And that's as far as I ever went with heavy with death metal. And I've skated around the edges bits of it, but Misery Index is just superb. Little bits of it remind me of Death, and there's a really nice kind of old school production on it. It's not totally old school, but the drums don't sound like they're from a video game. It doesn't sound like it's been run through a massive computer to make sure everything's all right. It's just got an integrity and a live feel about it that I really, really like. So definitely worth checking out. Misery Index, The Killing Gods. That's the only CD I've got a tip for you, actually, because there hasn't been a lot about this month, or at least I haven't found much since we last spoke. But again, a shout out, I think, for an album that I mentioned earlier in other podcasts, and that was the last Mushroomhead album, because I'm just I think I might have done it a disservice, to be honest, because I didn't say to everyone, look, you should go check it out, kind of give it a little bit of a lukewarm review. The Righteous and the Butterfly. I was listening to some bits of it, and it's just there's some really good songs in there, so check that out as well. Anyway, next band up for a mention is Fierce and the Dead. Matt Stevens got in touch to say that him and his band, who he describes as proggy weirdness, offered me a chance to do some guest vocals, and you know me, I'm a whore, do guest vocals anywhere. That's a yes, by the way, Matt. He got in touch to say that his band is doing some shit for charity. It's for cancer. Well, it's not for cancer, as in, hey, yay, cancer. Here you go, cancer. We've raised some money for you. No, I presume it's about actually trying to get a cure, not to make cancer better, or a bigger killer. Cigarettes for children. That's what I say. Fucking don't ask me what I'm doing. So anyway, it's for cancer charity. Sorry, Matt, I've just pissed on your charity fucking fundraising there. Let's start again. Fierce and the Dead. Check the band out. Matt got in touch, said, can you give us a shout out? We're doing work for cancer charities. Don't make any stupid fucking jokes. Oh yeah, sorry about that. And the website is www. In case you live in 1998, resonance-festival.com. That's resonance-festival.com. Resonance as in RESONANC-festival.com. Go there and give him the money, because he's worth it. Moving on, what else have we had? We had we've actually had Metallica by request at Sonosphere since we last spoke, and I never ever want to hear anybody bitching about their set lists ever again, because I saw the set list and it was like, well, isn't that just what they normally be playing? I mean, no one out there can ever moan about another Metallica set list ever, because when you voted for it, it was just the set they were going to play, except, and I love this. Of course, they forced everybody to listen to Lords of Summer twice, because, as you know, I do believe that is actually a 4.5-minute song that they've made into a 9-minute song. It's basically, they play the whole song and then they play it again. For some strange reason, they're calling it one song. Well, yeah. So maybe one is Lords and one is of Summer, or one's Lords of and one's Summer. Anyway, so they were playing that, which I've spoken of that song. I've spoken about I'm not particularly impressed with that song. Don't particularly like it, about Lars's drumming. Yeah, thinking that I was trying to think of ways of describing Lars Ulrich's drumming, and I came up with he sounds like when he's behind the kit these days, it sounds like the kind of noise someone would be making to let you know they're not very well. Do you know what I mean? Like if they were sort of like trapped, or it's the sound. It's the sound of, sound of a breakdown. I don't know. No, that's very unfair. But it just kind of sounds like somebody drumming for help. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I've got. But whilst I'm bashing bands who've been around a while, fucking Kiss arguing in the press, and fucking Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons. Fucking turn it in, you millionaire crybaby children, please. As some of you may have seen in an interview I did recently, I fucking hate Kiss and everything they stand for, everything they've ever done. They did a disco album. Even if you are the biggest Kiss fan ever and you're sat there and you're going, oh, H, I agree with you on some things, but you're so fucking dead wrong. Well, no, I am dead right. You are dead wrong. They did a disco album. Yeah, they did a disco album. That right there, you rip the heavy metal balls off at that point. You go, yeah, get your balls out, get your heavy metal balls out. Yeah, you've seen the cover of Accept Balls to the Wall, like that, fucking metal balls, right? Get them out, whoosh, fucking off at the nutsack, off. You are no longer in the fucking heavy metal fan club. You've had your balls ripped off. You've done a disco album. So they've been squeaking along ever since. They are just a corporation. They're just an image. They're just fucking shit. Talk about the music, can we please? I mean, it's embarrassing. Grown adults like this shit and they take their kids along. It's fucking dreadful. It's awful. They do not have one decent song. They are shit beyond belief. And they did a disco album and all they want is your money and they make no fucking apologies for it. And it's embarrassing. So, yeah, there you go. Stop bitching, you children. And as for Def Leppard supporting, boys, you should fucking know better, yeah? Just go and sit in the corner, yeah? I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. Go and sit in the corner and, yeah, I'll deal with you later. I just can't bother with you at the moment. And now moving on to another band who's been around for years, but a big round of applause Woo! Yes. Congratulations to Bobby Blitz and the rest of Overkill on getting into basically having a top 40 album. Overkill New Metal Armory has actually got into the US top 40. How fucking amazing is that? This is it just sounds surreal saying that. It really does. Congratulations, fucking awesome, and taking nothing away whatsoever from that achievement. I did want to go on to I did read an article on Metal Sucks, and it's an article on how to save on petrol costs on the road for bands, because that is how bad things have got now, right? It's not like, you know, what are the best flight cases to get made for your guitars. No, it's how to save money on petrol. That is how fucking hard the road is now, and I just want to say, every single band out there that is currently working with you, part-time, full-time, touring all year or hardly ever touring or just doing bit, but whatever you're doing, if you're doing a band right now, I doff my metaphorical hat to you, sir and madam, although if you're on vocals, madam, leave the band. Sorry, I don't mean that. Regulars will understand. But I honestly, I'm doffing my cap to you all. I am saying, you know, fucking well done, because it's an absolute, total, complete generational shift from what I know or understood, and it's much harder, much harder. You know, all that power that came from the record labels dying. Yay, the record label is dead. Yay, let's stick fucking spears in it. Yeah, the bastard's dead. Oh, right, yeah. But the market's completely changed, and we're all fucking skin. Bastard. Yeah, all in the same boat. But so anyway, you know, congratulations to all of you in bands for just keeping going. You have my eternal respect. A band that don't have my eternal respect would be Baby Metal. I'm not having it. Fuck off, basically. I've got a sense of humour. I mean, you know, without putting too fine a point on it. Hello, comedian, sense of humour. Surely I am allowed to play that card, aren't I? Jesus Christ. Surely I'm allowed to play that. Early doors, straight down there, hello. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Yeah, it's just not funny. It's not that I'm taking myself really seriously. It's not that I'm failing to see a joke. They are, and not a particularly funny one. And it just annoys me, the money that a record label is spending on that absolute fucking dog shit. And it just absolutely winds me up, because they will get exposure in all sorts of areas that, for want of a better phrase, but they're not being one, better bands, basically virtually everyone else out there, they don't get exposed to any of the kind of areas that these guys are going to get exposed to. They're going to be marketed to death. They're going to be on mainstream media and all sorts, and it's all based on, oh look, it's a little, oh look, they're playing heavy metal, oh, and you know, and they're put together by the Amuse talent agency, right? Now, they're basically these are kids who could have been auditioning for X Factor. It's not cute. It's not good. In fact, Amuse Inc. Here's what it says on their Wikipedia page: a Japanese entertainment company that provides artist management services. The artists include grave idiots, right? Okay, well that would describe the people who work there, actually. Yeah, basically they're just a scum-sucking management company like all the rest of them. And they've put together a little heavy metal band, and it's girls, it's little girls, it's never... No, fuck off. Fuck right off. And fuck off again. Yeah. But, yeah, that's my... I think that's my ranting over with now. I think we need to get another interview online. Actually, yeah, let's sort that out now. Okay. Well, I kind of this next interview was it was in the Islington Academy, and I met up with Michael from Arm, Armory, I nearly said. Fucking overkill on the brain. Artillery. And yeah, we got to catch up. He's the founder of the band, and we quite quickly found some very common ground, and that is basically, by that I mean we've both been in bands with shit artwork, crap album covers. So yeah, we bonded over that a little, but it was really cool. And here we have we have a nice chat, and have a listen in, and I'll chat to you in a bit.
Tomorrow Birmingham, and then we're off to Slovenia.
Slovenia?
Yeah, we're gonna play a big festival there called Missile Days.
God,
It's really,
yeah, where's
the
that?
headliner is Volbeat and Megadeth.
Oh right, okay, so that's
So it's a good festival.
yeah, big time. I just want to get some just get some levels.
You want to speak a bit now, so we can see it.
It's okay. I'm just gonna try and get some levels, and we can. Oh come on! Yeah, well, yeah. If we
Say something more.
yeah. If we.
It's really a pleasure to be here, right? For the first time ever, even if we had a English label in Newcastle.
We were on Neat Records.
It was Neat Records for the 2 first albums. We never played England. That's really strange.
Well, yeah, Neat Records didn't have a very neat reputation.
Not at last. I would say, the second album we did was delayed for over a year, and the horrible cover on one of the 10 worst covers in the world. I think it was banned.
Hey, there was a Terrorizer poll.
Yeah.
For
Exactly.
worst album covers. Yeah. Well, who was number one?
You were from?
Yeah. So you were top 10.
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you. Congratulations.
So something at least will make us famous in one way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I know somebody online said to me, that's it's a real shame, because I like the concept of the cover. I was like, it's not a shame at all. It's better to be number one at something, than number two at anything.
For sure.
So
better get a negative, PR and nothing at all.
Yeah, always PR, isn't it? It's all the same.
Yeah.
But it was, just to catch everybody up, we were talking about dodgy album covers just earlier there. You guys have been, like I say, you're in the UK for the first time, but it's kind of you've been doing this band on and off for a very, very long time, but you're probably most productive right now.
Yeah.
And this new. Is there any particular reason for that?
Yeah, it's mainly because we had a member who didn't want to tour that much in the early days, and every time
that'll do it.
Yeah, every time we had a tour set up or anything for that, he cancelled them. So it was really difficult to get out to play, and we got really good reviews, and people really asked us to come in, and every time we had to say, yeah, we want, but we can't. So when we met up in 2007 and said, we really want to give this band a try, one more try, and see if it could be. And everybody said, okay, we've got to have a new singer. And after that, I think we played about 200 shows each year.
Right.
So there's definitely a totally different direction.
That's because you've been through singers, haven't you?
Sure.
I said, well, when this one leaves, I'm available.
Okay, it's good to know. But at the moment, he's really doing a really good job, and he's also a very kind person and very easy to work with, and has no ego, has no a lot of wishes for what he wants.
Are you sure he's a singer?
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I mean a lot of singers through the years, of course, and especially our first singer was really, really difficult to handle.
All about him.
Yeah. So
LSD, lead singer's disease.
Yeah. You can say that.
That's all right. Yeah, I've been doing comedy for 15 years, so I can step away.
Still, and also there's no, as you can say, generate all singers are like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good singers also who don't have those intention to be the big star or just a part of the band. Michael is like we are 5 pieces, and this is a band,
Yeah.
And we are also friends outside the band. You can do everything else. You can go on a pub Saturday night and drink a beer, and you can sit and talk about anything, So it's not just music. also other things is
and you have to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But does it help being older as well?
Yeah, I think so, because when you get older, you get more tolerated. You can take almost everything. Nothing can surprise you the same way that it could in the early days.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to have fun. We have so much fun right now, so that's why we're here in UK now.
Yeah, it's great. And with this kind of second or third wave of sort of thrash the way it is now, I mean, it's a great time. That back in 2007, you timed it just right.
Yeah, but it was not on purpose.
No, it's just great.
We was just trying since 2004. Me and my brother tried to get the band going in all directions, but we couldn't find the right members, who really wanted to do this, really wanted to tour and all that stuff. Not before 2007, where we got the singer Søren, and he was a really good singer and good friend also. We're still good friends, but he wanted to go more in the hard rock direction. So, and he had a lot of offers to go that way, so he chose to go that way. But I would say after we got Michael, it's got even better. It was good, so no problem at all there. It was functioning very fine. But with Michael now, we have 5 dedicated guys who really wanted to do the tour, to do the recordings and all that kind of stuff.
This is it. When it has to be all five people have to be completely dedicated, one direction, facing the right way. Otherwise, it's like you say, it's not going to work. But Michael, it's funny you were saying about your previous singer wanted to go more hard rock, because Michael's not a traditional sort of thrash vocalist either. It's kind of like a sort of new wave British heavy metal meets kind of, this sort of interesting blend.
Yeah, because the good thing with Michael is he has a very open vocal range. He can really reach a lot of things. He can also sing growl if you want that. So he's really keen. But the most important thing was when we chose Michael was he sang the old songs very good, and very close to the original singer. And we had with Søren in the band. Many people said he don't sound like it. He don't sound like he Søren choose another direction, and that's also okay. But Michael really sang that way, and you could see very very fast that he was a very good guy, and was very easy to work with. If you say something to Michael, this sounds good, but can you try this way? Nothing like it. I'll do this. He tries things out, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
But this is the thing about being open to trying things, is that, well, if you've done it your way, you've got that. So it can't hurt to try something else.
No,
because it might be even better. You've got your way. It's just be open-minded, but it's that ego thing that says, no, I'm saying this is what I did, this is what It's control issue.
Yeah, we were very open-minded in the band, because even if Morten and me come with most of the riffs and stuff like that, it's not like the others can say anything or does it, because we always into the song in the rehearsal room where all people are together. And we pick those songs out of this who we think was the best, So if Peter, for example, say, Michael, that song, that's not so good, it's no problem. So we take it over and try something else.
Yeah.
So it's not like you say, I've done the song, it should be this one, And they especially Josh, our drummer, is very good to get very good ideas to put in the songs also.
Right, hang on. So you've got a drummer who's good at song structures, and you've got a singer with no ego. This is a weird band.
Yeah, but I think that's why one of the reasons now that we really got it summed up now, to get out and play really good places now, and be in the United Kingdom for the first time. We've been playing. We're gonna do the US tour later on also.
Wow, really?
So yeah, also with Onslaught.
Oh, cool.
So almost one month and a half in USA and Canada.
Wow.
And right after that to South America for the third time.
Right.
So we really enjoyed it now.
That's so weird. So you've been to South America, you're going for the third time, and yet this is your first time in the UK.
Yeah.
That's
sometimes it's strange, We always wanted to play in our kingdom, and when we got this offer from Onslaught, a nice call and said, hey, we want you guys to do this with us after we've been playing in South America. So we said, yeah, of course. We wanted to go to UK.
No, that's so nice as well. That it's like it's the bands between themselves arranging it, and then just telling everybody else what to do.
And because it works really fine when we play in South America. We have a really good time and very easy to talk to also because they also started their band in 1982. You know, so we are almost at the same age and level, stuff like that. Eh?
Yeah.
So it's really easy for us to work together. So why not do it?
Yeah, no, that's great. And what's South America like for artillery?
South America is
fucking
crazy, totally crazy. You know, if you play a song, for example, we have a song called When Death Comes, which goes like this, and when we start to play the song, the people say the riffs, you know, and you never see that in Europe, but they just on all the time. And if you finish to play, you can maybe use an hour or 1.5 just to stay and talk to them, and they get signed, get photos and stuff like that. But they won't allow you to go. They just want to speak, and they were very sweet, you know. They're not something like they're pushing or anything, but they're very sweet, standing and just talking and really dedicated.
But but it's great that more bands are getting out there as well, because that's an area of the world that's been starved of music.
Really, for old school metal, thrash metal is a really big market.
Yeah.
People don't believe how many people come to the shows there. Always when we play, there's always packed. It's so damn good.
So how many people at the sort of show?
The clubs we played at was between 1,200 and 2,000.
Right. Okay. Every night.
Yeah, every night.
That's
only in Brazil because the next tour we do, we have I think 9 places to play.
Wow.
Only in Brazil.
Wow, that's 9. Right. Okay. Yeah.
You can see there's a lot of people.
Yeah. I didn't know there were 9 cities in Brazil.
They are so supportive. So when you stop to play a song, you really can say anything simply because you know on off all the time.
Yeah. It's almost like that sort of childlike enthusiasm. Yeah. I like. Well, I can't believe they're here. I can't believe they made it.
They are really good. You have to see to believe it.
I'm gonna have to reform a band and get down there.
Over there.
Yeah, just to get to South America.
I can promise you won't regret.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, how did you find Michael?
That was a funny thing because Michael used to play in a cover band who played Merciful Fate covers and King Diamond covers.
Oh yeah, that's a great.
Yeah.
Wow. When you said a covers band, I thought you were going to be like playing like Rolling Stones tunes.
No. Not that kind of band. But Merciful Fate. And then the funny thing was when we talked to him first time, he said, one of the first songs I heard in my metal business was The Almighty with artillery.
Oh wow.
So that was fun. So he's very glad to play that song. So that we're taking that song up again in our set. Just because he wants to sing that.
Is he the same age as the rest of you guys as well?
No, he's the drummer and Michael is about 36.
Right.
He's a bit older.
yeah, you got it. But without you, there's no band. So hey, age is just a number.
Yeah.
As I'm finding out every birthday.
Yeah. As I say, as long as you have a lot of fun. And you can do it. Why not do it?
Every day above ground.
I'm not that kind of person who wants to sit at my home and watch the telly. Nothing happen. I had to have something, some fun.
Yeah.
And see so many places of the world that we have done in the last 3 years. That's great.
So what do you do when you're off the road? Do you have a job? Is artillery just your full-time job?
I've just stopped to work full-time.
Right.
So I do some what do you call it? Some periods where I'm working as a substitute.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah.
So I had that way. Our drummer is living up this also and have some drum school.
Right.
And Michael is studying. Pete has his own company, so he can leave when he wants. And Morten is the only one who have a full-time job. He's the one who had a little bit problem sometimes getting along. At some of the tours we have another guitar player with us called Rune. So, but we like to have more as much as we can.
Yeah.
So, and he's trying to figure out something so he can do more shows.
But this is it. It's like now the way the businesses and everything else is. You want to get the right people in the band, but they've also they've got to have kind of the right work setup as well,
of course,
to make it all work.
Also, because Morten is very important, also because he wrote a lot of the songs also, like so, and but he had some trouble with getting off some of the latest tours, but we hope that the future will get better. So we're working on it.
And so Legions came out end of last year.
Yeah, November.
Yeah, and I mean you've been quite prolific, putting it's just coming out. How are things at home in in the home country? Is are you getting bigger?
Yeah, I think so. Denmark is not so big a country, there's only 5 million people in it, so they had a limited for metal fans, except for if it was Volbeat or.
I was going to say, but there's always an exception like Volbeat in every country. There's always one band that blows up. Yeah.
So, but elsewhere, I think more and more people are recover us and know who we are now. Many people really knows the name.
But when you've been around for so long, I mean, I know this to a much smaller extent, but when you've been around so long, that you can't buy that. You can't buy that credibility. You can't buy that name awareness. It's just
you have to work for it.
Yeah. Yes,
that's for sure. And also in Denmark, they're really looking away on United States to see what kind of bands is big there. Okay, we want to sound like this.
Yeah.
We always go the other direction. We always try to see, our Danish band, we like to play Danish if we can that.
Yeah.
And we try to do something like that.
But metal over the years, not just thrash, but metal in general, it's become much more led by America.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember when it was like the new wave of British heavy metal, and there was like Iron Maiden, Saxon, everybody coming up, and then when glam started, glam just was the States, and then thrash came out of the States, and
the new metal
came out of the States.
That's true.
So that, I mean, they can take the credit for thrash, and they can also take the blame for everything else. But it seems that is now the order of things.
But I think also the German thrash band was also very early out. I remember when we started to play, people used to call us a kind of punky Motorhead. They didn't call it thrash at that time.
They didn't know what to call it.
No.
Yeah.
So they're back in bands like Accept, Fast as a Shark, and compared with old GBH and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Push our sound together, I say, with some Danish elements, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that was our, it was good for us to be so early out with that kind of style, because the American thrash metal was a bit different, and the German thrash metal was a bit different at that time.
Yeah, the Teutonic Big Four. Well, to a certain extent, in my old band, we had a few sort of punk songs when we started out and as we were coming through. And I mean that died away, but it's for me that's kind of that's my roots. People like Jello Biafra, who I've always kind of looked up to, and I mean it's not a style that you can ever copy.
No.
It's like it's not even singing. It's just Jello being Jello, but it's an influence that's not metal that kind of blends and becomes thrash.
Yeah, because our main goal in the start was to take the old kind of bands like Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, Berber, all those kind of together with the punk aggression. Put it together, and so listen to songs as Fast as a Shark, Accept, for example. So set the level and the tempo up. And that's how it started.
Yeah.
So
it's like taking that old metal and just running an electric current through it, and just like you said, just making it. It's funny when you were saying about you don't want to be sat in front of the TV, you want to be out doing stuff, and it's kind of like that's what you did with metal. It's like no, we want to do something with it, not just.
Always used to say in the bar we are a kind of rebels, because we don't want to be fit in that box. We want to get more out and do other things, and usual stuff. When I look at many of my old friends from the school, for example, and I see them and I think, oh, I'm goddamn glad I didn't choose that way. If you know what I mean.
Oh, no, exactly what you mean. Yeah, I've got friends like that. But I mean, back then, there wasn't many bands doing what you were doing in Europe. Never mind Denmark.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have just been. Well, there was you and Merciful Fate, and that's that, and that's it. That's the Danish metal scene.
Also, Pretty Mix was okay, but it was in another way, of course.
Yeah.
But they were kind of big at that moment too. But at that time, there was really, a kind of competition between the hard way, Merciful Fate, Artillery, and Pretty Mix, and some of those bands there, hair bands, as we call them there.
But the thing about Thrash and is that it survived, and it still survives today, and that kind of just sort of died away. That side of things.
And I think that's because people who listen to this kind of music, they can see it's very honest, it's very from the heart.
Yeah.
Because
integrity.
If you don't play this with the heart, it's gonna be very boring. So you really have to put your heart in it, and then. So people can see you really mean it.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because for me personally, I think a lot of sort of modern thrash bands, the way albums are produced now, the way they sound, they're lacking that energy, that live, that in your face kind of. It's kind of by numbers,
Yeah, I think some of them, I won't say all, some of them, I don't think really mean it.
We certainly doesn't sound like it.
Because they just heard maybe some new Metallica stuff and said, okay, this is how Thrash is, and then they worked out for that. And many of those bands are triggering the drums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's sad, because it's gonna do all the songs very at the same kind of level, it doesn't have so much variation in the stuff.
Yeah, and it's everything is quantified as it's recorded.
It sounds so clean,
Yeah, everything, and as it's recorded, everything is bunched on time and it doesn't leave any room. And I think you have to leave room for life, and also for mistakes, because sometimes mistakes turn into.
You can see we played Legion, for example, was played only 2 times drums. He don't use triggers and anything. Just play them straight away, and then we take the bass with those 2, not more.
That's good to hear.
And I think that's giving it life.
Yeah.
And I think you can hear that when you hear the song, because you came out this way and feel from the heart.
Yeah, because yes, you want it to sound good. You want it to sound contemporary. It's got to, it's got to compete against everything else that's out there. But there's nothing wrong with a bit of kind of old school life and enthusiasm in it, because that's at the heart of what thrash is about.
It's the same if you take an old blues guitarist, for example, plays with very much feeling, and you take some of the new really hyped guitar players, they can all of it, but they never get this. That kind of touch.
No soul.
Yeah,
no soul. Yeah.
I think it's a bit the same with some of the thrash bands. The soul is lost because it's not coming here.
Yeah.
It's just other way when maybe say, we want to be a hard band, we want to thrash, but it had to come from here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many kind of new school bands that I like. The ones that I like are doing their thing. The ones that I don't like are the ones that you listen to the album and it sounds like they've catalogued riffs from early Slayer, early Nuclear Soul. Right, okay, we'll put those there, and there you go. That's a thrash song.
That's the formula. We work for that.
Yeah.
And we always try to see. Sometimes we come up with a song and we say it's maybe not thrash, but let's see how we can make it heavy or something like that. For example, if you take it on a new album, you've got the song Global Flatline, for example, who's very inspired of 07 in the first part, or a very fresh part in the middle. And first when you hear it, you say, that's a strange combination, but it works.
Yeah. Now, actually, forgive me, I can't remember the song, but there's a song off the new album that starts with, it's like acoustics and maybe some. It sounds really almost folk music. It sounds very kind of like traditionally Danish. I can't think what song it is.
Maybe it's a ballad song.
No, goes heavy. Begins with A. My listeners will understand that because my brain, it doesn't work anymore. My memory is shot to pieces. I can't. Really, it's about 6 minutes long. Starts and I was listening to it today and I was like, wow, that is it. I thought this would be interesting to see where this goes, but then the main part of the sort of acoustic folky intro becomes the main riff, and I never saw that coming. And for people listening getting frustrated, because I'm getting frustrated, I will post the song online so everybody can see what I'm talking about.
I think it's maybe the song called "The Team I'm Only Talking About."
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we always try to incorporate something like that or some Middle Eastern inspiration in the song because it gives a variety, so you can make the song a bit stronger and more stuff into the song, as much as you can without doing only technical stuff all the time, but still keep the hook lines very fast.
So just feel a vibe. Yeah. So, first time in the UK, I've got to ask you, just changing the subject, but going back to what we were talking about before, how's it been? Have you enjoyed it? What's it like? What have you noticed?
Yeah, I think it's been really cool. I think playing, especially the first shows in Ireland was really great.
Yeah, they're great.
And we played in Glasgow, was also very cool. Newcastle, Sheffield, Bristol. Bristol was really great also.
Oh well, it's Ocelot's hometown.
Yeah, of course. There was a lot of people there, really packed, and I think many people, I'm sure not knew us before, but had taken us into their heart now. We sold a lot of merchandise, much more than I had expected.
Right.
So
that's that old school thing again. It's that
people want to pick it up in the concert because I just heard that. I want to do that. Not that kind of downloading things. That's not the same. So I think it's been really cool so far. I think the especially the English audience is very listening people and really really going to stuff. What is it? What is it? What is this? And really like it and come afterward. We've got really many people come and say that's the best show I've seen for a very long time, and that's really make us proud.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Oh, great! Well, hopefully it's been worth waiting all these years for.
Yeah, I think so. Especially now we can say now we play UK, and we've always been asked to come back, so I'm sure we'll come back again.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. But it's a shame Hatred aren't coming along, isn't it? But I mean, obviously there's.
Yeah, of course.
Everything changes.
I would love to do shows with them because I think it was a good band, but I understand that. Steve wants to go back to it, of course.
Yeah.
He has been wishing it for a long time.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we had to cancel some dates because of that also, but that's how it is in this business,
Yeah, always. So, just because the dates are published, the bands are there, and it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen.
You can never know this business.
Believe it when you're on the bus.
Yeah,
that's the
this is true.
Yeah, cool. Well, look, man, I know we've got people queuing up to get hold of you. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been really nice, and I'm really glad that you finally got over here and that you've actually survived Neat Records. That managed to kill most bands.
Yeah, I know, and it was very close to kill us at one point also. It was so long so it was picked up by Roadrunner for a third album, so luckily was we survived it.
And now you're a Metal Blade. You're doing a tour of iconic metal labels. Brilliant. Well, look, I wish you all the best tonight. Looking forward to the show.
Yeah, thanks for the support. And let me know if you've got the band out.
Oh yeah, we'll do. Definitely. And that was Michael there, Michael Stützer, with me. There you go. A really nice guy. I couldn't believe it. It was their first time in the UK, and good old-fashioned singer problems. Hey, leave it. Have just been the bane of their lives. I couldn't believe how many singers they've been through. It was unbelievable. And as you heard, offering my services. It was a really good night actually because I interviewed I interviewed Michael there at the Onslaught gig, and had to sit down and had a chat with Nigel Rocket. Got that on in the can for another month. So don't worry, guys, that's coming. And that was really cool to catch up with Nigel, and really good of him to spend any time because he was just fucking under the pump, well and truly. And yeah, I don't know how he does it, but anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. I hope you like the kind of the little change around in format there. Just seemed like a nice idea at the time. You probably hate me for it, but I'm a cunt. You've come to expect it now, haven't you? There you go. I couldn't go a whole episode without getting a good old cunt in. Yes. There we go. I feel that's good. The blood's flowing. So anyway, look. What can I say? As always, thank you so much to every single one of you that subscribes, downloads, listens on YouTube, tells friends, doesn't tell friends, likes the bit that I do rambling, hates the bit that I do rambling, likes the fucking interviews more than anything. Whatever you're getting out of this, right? Whatever you're getting out of this, that's cool with me. I'm as I've said before, I'm self-aware enough, especially as a comedian. I'm self-aware enough to know that some people will be listening to this and they will just skip past the interviews of me talking in anything other than an interview. And the worst part of the interview is when I speak. And but hey, if you're going to the effort to actually listen to any part of this, then I thank you. Even if it is just to listen to just swear at me and call me a complete talentless fucking fool and a twat and I can't, fine, do it, because you know what, I'm doing this and you're not, so fuck you. No, see, I made somebody up there that probably doesn't really exist and I still had to get the better of them, yeah, because that is how the comedian brain works, yeah, and that's why I'm 44 and single. There you go. Anyway, just let you in on a little bit more than you really need to know about me there. But look, thanks for. I was going to say that. Thanks for letting me come in your ears every month. Yeah, not seriously, not like that. But thanks for just downloading, listening, subscribing, streaming, whatever anyone's doing, and great, and thank you. And you're getting something out of this, then that is very cool. I'm glad you are. It's an honour. So anyway, thank you very much. There's no song this week, by the way. If you were hanging out there, it was at the front, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah. Actually, do you know what? I'm going on the fly. Shall we pick a song for the end of it? Right. Okay. I'm working my laptop as well as talking to you guys here. So, wrong folder. What a fucking idiot. Open the podcast folder. Oh, yeah. Right, okay. What have I got in here? I've got a few songs played by a few people. Awesome. Now, if I'm going to play you that. Right, yeah, okay. Right. I'm going to play this tune, and I kind of, well, I owe it to I owe it to All About the Rock for this one. They kind of requested this because the guys at Heavy Metal PR, hello Heavy Metal PR, are basically representing them, and that's run by people who run All About the Rock, and they just kind of said, look, could you see your way to having to listen to this and let us know what you think? And I like it. It's not something that I'm like jumping up and down about and going, oh my god, this is amazing. But they're a good band. There's no doubting it. So anyway. And yeah, they're called One More Victim. Okay, so that's One More Victim. But I'm gonna get to them in a bit. I just want to say, as usual, thanks to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Keep spreading the word, please. Really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure and an honour to share this. What's coming up to be kind of 2 hours every month now. It's a pleasure sharing the time with you because you don't talk back, and I just get to spout all my opinions off. Basically, yeah, that's why I spend a lot of time with my own. Look, in all seriousness, thanks to you all for tuning in. It's really cool. Going to continue to get some cracking interviews. Got some lined up, which are looking very fucking cool. Oh, fucking hell, my phone's going mental. I'm getting loads of messages. Oh, God. I've just been invited to, I think, about 1,000 Mordred gigs all at once. Serves me right for having 3, 4 Facebook sites. Anyway, right, sorry, just got distracted there. Yay! Tangent fans, yeah? Awesome. You had to hang in there, but there was another one left. So anyway, right, let's get on to the meat and potatoes. Let's get this song played. Yeah, it's about time. So the band, as I said, is called One More Victim from Liverpool. So yeah, fucking duck go them. Don't Google them. You're not an idiot. But yeah, just duck go them and find them. One More Victim from Liverpool. I particularly like the beginning of the title of this track. It's heavy as hell. There is no denying. Please please get in touch with them. And if you're a friend of the show, get in touch with me. We've got the Facebook page, facebook.com/Talking Bollocks, except with a Z instead of an S on the end. You can tweet at Talking Bollocks, same deal, Talking Bollocks with a Z instead of an S on the end. So yeah, you can go to the All About the Rocks website. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, fucking everywhere. So no excuse, come find us. Tell us what you think. Rate us on iTunes, ShiteTunes. It's lovely that we've now got 6 ratings. We are now officially 5 fucking nut as the Mordred invites continue to come in. Matt Denny, looking at you. You can find us. You can find us everywhere. If you want to rate us on iTunes, we've got 6 review 6. Notches on the headboard. I don't know. But yeah, we're rated 5 stars. That's thanks to you guys, because basically we're now past, I think, 30,000 listens. We're just under 5,000 subscribers, and 6 of you have managed to basically click on one of those stars and rate us. 6 out of over just under 5,000 subscribers on iTunes. Yeah, 6 of you have managed to do that. Thank you so much. I don't ask much. I honestly don't. In fact, what do I ever ask other than just enjoy it? Yeah. I don't even say, oh, please do spread the word, man. This isn't even that. It's just clicking on a fucking star. 6 out of just under 5,000 of you aren't cunts. I joke, of course. I know everyone's got better things to do and all the rest of it. Hey, if you're passing, click a star. But seriously, don't make a detour for it. I know we've all got lives and we've all got priorities. So anyway, back to playing some music, because it's time to see our way out now. So it's back to One More Victim, and this is them playing us out this week. It's a bit of an old traditional saying, isn't it? Yes, it's One More Victim playing us out this week. It's been a pleasure. See you next month. This is One More Victim, and hang the fucking Judas.
The lot, the lot,
not quite finished. I've completely fucked up, and yeah, I forgot to thank Adam at Riff Media, and also to thank Andy Millen from Metal Talk for their exposure with the interviews with Acid Rain this month. Thanks a lot. There you go, a little bit extra there on the podcast. Well done you for listening to the end. You got to hear me say cunt one more time. Have a good month. Speak to you next month. Cheers.